Welcome everyone to the next gaming series. I'm your host, DB Smiley. It's going to be another night of some Heroes of the Storm action. We got a doubleheader for you. After I did a doubleheader earlier today, it's going to be Painfully Average versus 2Calculated2Throw in Division D East. First map going to be Volskaya, taking a look at those map bans. We see that we already saw bans on the Cursed Hollow, Tomb of the Spider Queen, Sky Temple, and Towers of Doom. Taking a look at the standings as well, you can see that right now 2Calculated2Throw sitting high atop Division D East, though with a bit of a traffic jam behind them now as 4 teams tied at 16 points. So it's really those top 6 teams in D East I think could go in almost any order at this point. Painfully Average, though, currently below average. Going to need to find some wins here to climb up into playoff position. Luckily they're not far, only 1 point away, so even a map win here would go a long way. Right out of the gate, we see a Brightwing ban. Brightwing Garion, 4th for name, Bright Nerve Wing, Shooter of Allies, Transformer of Foes, Aspect of Solar, Breaker of Chains, Summoner of the Emerald Winds, Master of the Invisible Arts, and Devourer of Entrails. Is going to be the first ban, and to me that suggests, hey, that's pretty high comfort on the side of Painfully Average, because you don't see Brightwing banned a lot. She's not particularly great at the moment. Anubarak going to get banned out, so much more meta ban on the side of Painfully Average. What's 2Calculated2Throw ban now? I mean, I would suggest bans, but if they ban Brightwing out of the gate, that suggests to me they're banning very hyper-specific heroes. We do have the Orphea ban. Orphea banned out. What's the ban coming the other way? So it seems 2 targeted bans on the side of 2Calculated2Throw, only because I don't see those heroes banned out a lot in general, especially the Brightwing. Sometimes I feel like I just forget Orphea's even in the game, though this is definitely one of Orphea's best maps. Going to be Junkrat banned out here, so that looks more like a target ban. But that leaves a lot of pretty powerful heroes up. Diablo's available, Joanna's available, we have Ana and Tyrande available, Kael'thas is available, Leoric available, although I'd be surprised to see Leoric in the first pick. I expect, yeah, there it is, Ana, gonna be the first pick. Strong hero, very strong. That doesn't really need much in the way of introduction. Even with some of the nerfs she's gone through, still just a very strong hero all the way around. Still at a 68% popularity, which is actually lower than I expected. Actually only sitting at a 40% win rate, which is pretty surprising. Meanwhile, Joanna going to come out the other side. She's really started to become even more popular than ET was. And we see an early Lily. So Joanna now sitting at 81% popularity, 50% win rate, but Lily gonna get picked up. That I did not expect. As we see, excuse me here, I seem to have made something of a mistake in my setup. There it is. Bear with me for 1 second. Alright, and so there is the Garrosh and the Kael'thas. Now, Kael'thas is pretty fantastic, especially when he potentially has the nano boost coming in from Ana. Garrosh, I haven't seen as much of lately, and can struggle a bit with the Joanna getting a good engage, but that said, we'll see what happens. Certainly, if he can get the separation, a solo healer Lily isn't going to win it. We just saw a Probius ban, folks. Well, okay then. Don't know what to do with that. What's the ban gonna come out? Expect a damage dealer ban or a solo lane ban. Gonna be damage dealers. They're gonna ban out Cassia, which with Joanna Lily, that makes sense. They're already kind of building that double blind. The Probius is just, it has to be targeted. mean, just taking a look at it, Prometheus is just generally one of the least played heroes in the game. 1% popularity rate, but hey, 67% win rate. Average KDA, 2. Alright, so Goldan Lunara. Now, that gives a ton of sustained damage. Absolutely a ton. But it does certainly lack finishing power until level 10 when you get Leaping Strike. And one thing that's always problematic about this is poison damage can be mitigated in a few different ways. And in fact, I would love to see a Blaze here for Bunker, just to mitigate that poison damage, because you can pop in and out of Bunker, clears all the poison damage. Not going to see the Blaze, going to see Thrall Nazebo. I never like a Nazebo pick. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm actively rooting against 2Calculated2Throw now. I hate Nazebo with a passion. If you want to play Nazebo, just play Goldan and actually be a useful hero for more than post 20. I think Nazebo players should be sent to an island, and then the island should be sunk. Chen gonna be the pick. The solo lane Chen. There is quite a lot of CC though, with the Ana Sleep, with the Kael'thas Gravity Lapse, with the Garrosh Flip or Taunt or Stun. That's a lot of CC for Chen to mitigate, so interesting last choice there, but it's all sustained damage and sustained healing on the side of Painfully Average. Meanwhile, there's quite a fair amount of burst on the side of 2Calculated2Throw, so I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Taking a look now, though, just because we saw an early Lily pick and we also saw the Brightwing ban, why not load up Desmerd's profile, and we can see that there is indeed some Uther, some Anduin, but especially everyone's favorite little fairy dragon, Brightwing. Had been a rough season for Painfully Average. They've had a hard time finding wins, but let's see if they can pull an upset tonight. Just getting even a map win here would be really big for them. Looking forward to it. Once again, taking a look at the map. We are on Volskaya. This was Painfully Average's map choice. So we'll see how they play this. I'm a bit concerned about their draft. It's all sustained damage with almost no dive until level 10 into an Ana. And that's where Ana just really can excel, especially on Volskaya, which tends to turn into like a corridor type fight, where she can just post up in the back and drop healing darts into everyone. But we'll see what happens. We are now jumping into the game as switch over to the game screen and introduce our two teams. It's going to be Lord Gold on Joanna, Willows on the Goldan, Gingermancer going to be on Chen. We're going to have Desmerd on the Lily, and Hufflepuffin going to be on the Lunara. That is Painfully Average. And on the right side, we're going to introduce 2Calculated2Throw. It's going to be General Confusion on Garrosh. Jurgen Derb going to be on Kael'thas. Hunter X going to be on Nazebo, the hero that I hate most. We're going to be playing Thrall. And Goldray Race, going to be on the Ana. And let's go Painfully Average. Kill the Nazebo pickers. I don't want them around anymore. We have a Toad build Nazebo because of course we do. You may be thinking I'm being irrational in my hatred. I'm not. It's because I've never once been paired with someone who picks Nazebo who isn't hot-ass fucking garbage as the hero. Meanwhile, though, Joanna soaking the bot. We are seeing Kael'thas and Ana rotating down. Looks like we're going to see a solo top lane, which is a bit of a wrinkle here. But 4-man rotation for the side of 2Calculated2Throw. If they're going to keep rotating, get this 4-man soak. There's a flip on the Goldan. Follow-up stun is there. Looking for the zombie wall, and it misses. Because, you know, it's a really bad ability, and no one should ever pick Nazebo. I am kind of joking, Hunter X, but I am actually completely serious. Meanwhile, Thrall, so far doing okay in the top lane against this Chen. Gonna walk up, steal a globe. has the self-sustain there. And actually, both playing pretty aggressive at the moment, as we see, 2Calculated2Throw grabs their turret, painfully average just now starting theirs. Lily and Gul'dan could take a bit longer to do. Joanna still soaking the bot, Lunara making sure they don't lose any soak mid. Still pretty even on soak, slight edge over to the side of 2Calculated2Throw. As they're looking at invading this turret camp, it does get grabbed. Lunara in a bad spot. There's the gravity lap. She is low HP. She is going to escape all the same. Joanna helping, potentially setting up a counter engage. Lunara has tap, could come back in. Looks pretty stagnant at the moment, though, in terms of any attempt to counter engage. Level 4 is coming in now. Both teams losing a little soak in the bot lane. Joanna starting to rotate down. Make sure to pick it up. That's a good macro play there by Painfully Average, knowing, hey, we don't need a brawl right now. Let's just try to get the XP lead heading into this Shrine phase. And they should be able to do that easily enough. But Ana starting the support camp. Let's see if anyone... Kind of that Thrall just went down, so this would be a great opportunity to invade. Shen is showing up a bit low. Gul'dan goes before the rest of the team is there. Needs to drop the turret. Doesn't do so. Garrosh insta-steals the turret, though. And with Joanna having hearts and Lily also having hearts, that was just a bad time to step up. And that's just a miscommunication. You can work that out on the side of Painfully Average. But now you've given a turret and the support camp to the enemy team as a result of that. So it is a very costly mistake. Good sleep dart there by Ana. Joanna stepping onto the point right now. This is a 4v3 at the moment. Thrall and Nazebo not particularly close, but you can just see how difficult Garrosh is to kill. Dropping that turret into the backline. Now, finally backing off the point. Shen, though, going in, or excuse me, not Shen, it was Shen going in there. But he is actually going to drop to the towers as well as the stun. So now, 4v5 situation. Painfully Average needs to back off. They never grabbed their siege camp. There's a flip and a Gul'dan. He's down. So far, 3 kills to 1. Hufflepuffin gonna make it 4 to 1. And we are now seeing a Palantir lead on the side of 2Calculated2Throw. Gonna even walk back, take their turrets. So really good macro awareness, what they need to do on the map. They also have a siege camp pushing in the top, and it doesn't look like anyone inside of Painfully Average is going to clear that. Okay, now they are, but they are going to have to knowingly give up the shrine. No, they're rotating back down. And so if they fight over this, I think A, they lose, and B, they're going to let the siege camp get a lot of value. So Joanna coming top just to soak and make sure they don't fall too far behind in the macro. They're going to give this Triglav Protector. Ana and Kel'Thas jump in, and we start to see a siege up here. And immediately, Fort Wall goes down, and they're going to rotate top. And push it up towards this top wall, and look for the well as well. Look at that. Look what I did. There's a flip from Garrosh onto Joanna. Unstoppable comes a bit late. Is still alive for the time being. Taking a lot of damage from that Triglav, though. Drops below 500 HP, but does walk away. Gul'dan now stepping up. It should be noted, Gul'dan did go E-build. Kind of going a pretty meta E-build talent structure at this point. With Joanna having hearts, Nazebo is actually pushing bottom at the moment. All the while, all the structure damage coming top. Gul'dan half done with his quest. Ooh, Gingermancer quite low. Has a turret. They jump out of the Triglav Protector. They let it detonate. They get the top wall. They did not get the well, however. Meanwhile, Joanna dealing with Nazebo here in the bot lane. X-Havoc, you're going to get banned from my chat if you ever say anything positive about Nazebo again. Just kidding, but not really. I hate Nazebo, and so should you. And so should America, frankly. But here we go now. 2Calculated thought about invading. Now it looks like they're going to rotate. They've started the support camp, Fear has, but taking a lot of damage from that corruption there. Hufflepuffin, though, also taking a fair amount from the Kel'Thas, so focusing on the support camp. They have 2 turrets already. This would be a good get. They are going to grab it. And Painfully Average, though, hanging on at the moment. They need to avoid taking engage. Taking a look at heroics for the side of 2Calculated2Throw. We have the Earthquake. We have the Warlord's Challenge. Pyroblast and Nano Boost. Expect those to be comboed to try to insta-gib. Probably Lily. If I had to guess. And then, and Gib. Wow, that's an old reference. I was talking about someone being gibbed. Nano Boost and Gargantuan, but Painfully Average avoids taking a fight for the time being. They're pushing up the lanes. They get 10s of their own. They got the Blessed Shield. Thornwood Vine going to be the choice over the Leaping Strike, so more sustained damage focus. 1,000 Cups from Lili, Panda Pals from Chen, and Horrify going to be the choice from Gul'dan. Thrall has just finished Echo of the Elements up here in the top lane. Looks like now they want to push in. They want to take this well. They're going to be able to do so. Turret picked up, and they might just go ahead and say, you know what, let's give up the fort, let's get a turret, try to win the team fight. And actually, Hunter's in a horrible spot right now. If he gets out of this, that would just be dismal. Okay, he did not, thankfully. And that's what you get for playing Nazeebo, frankly. You deserve it. That's what you get for picking that hero. And also, America hates you. Not you, Hunter X, just Nazeebo. And Nazeebo fans. Ooh, focus there onto Joanna. She's got the taunt. Blows the Unstoppable. Support can't drop, but it's not going to be enough to save Thrall. And this Painfully Average with a chance here. Pyroblast comes in, though, and hits Gul'dan. That Nano Boost to Pyroblast is no joke. Into the fray used. This whole kill files, hey, the fight's over. We're leaving now. Flipping Chen now under the towers, though. Chen has a turret. If he dropped it, he would have not been taking tower shots, but just a little lapse in judgment there. And so what turned into 2 pickoffs got turned into 2 turnaround pickoffs. Now, 2Calculated2Throw back on top. We're seeing a rotation up towards this top shrine, and meanwhile, top camp being pushed back. Fort is gone. They gave up Fort for the turret, which they then lost. So, rather unfortunate. 2 turrets to 1 to fight over this top shrine. Joe's starting to push up, but Lunara's not here yet. This is still a 5v4. General Confusion taking the flip there, but we're seeing Painfully Average engage this 5v4 against Talontiers without Lunara there. I am questioning this. Lunara has rotated up. She is extremely low. 1,000 Cups should keep her alive just barely, but Lord Gold is going to drop the Living Bomb, and the Living Bomb spread just not particularly great at the moment. Lunara rotated up quick, but she just got lit into. But now we're seeing Triglav Protector was picked up on the backside by Ana. Kel'Thas and Ana trading seats. Push coming down the top lane, aiming for this keep. Painfully Average has 13 in a moment. We haven't yet seen the Panda Pals. Panda Pals is a great way to punish Ana. Ana really struggles when Panda Pals gets on her. That said, Ana's in the Triglav Protector right now. Panda Pals jumping in onto Hunter X. Fear is very low to do poison damage. Shields are trying to come out, but Ana in the Triglav Protector doesn't come out, so Thrall is going to drop here. Knockback onto Lord Gold could slow this engage. Hufflepuffin really want to go for this. Poison damage is onto General Confusion. He may drop. Ana does drop out of the Triglav to throw out some healing. Shield comes out as well. But 1-for-1 trade here. Excuse me, not 1-for-1. No one died on the side of Painfully Average. So they managed to defend their keep. They managed to get the kill on the Thrall. Lunara has Hearth, however, so this is a 4v4 at the moment with a Triglav Protector. Gargantuan spawned on the back line. Gul'dan has finished Corruption Quest, by the way, and could get a big one here. There's the Corruption hitting quite a bit, but still doesn't have the Ruinous Affliction. Oh no, Chen jumped in, and he does not jump back out. Lord Gold now extremely low. 1,000 Cups comes out, Living Bomb spread, and now the Pyroblast. Lili's going to survive this, but pretty questionable engage decisions here by Painfully Average at the moment. They need to show a bit more patience, recognize when they're against numbers. If they think they've shown that when they have equal numbers, they can fight. But they haven't had equal numbers when they've started fights. They've had equal numbers later in fights. And when they don't survive that initial burst, it really hurts them. So, Siege Camp, stolen. Fortification Camp, excuse me, stolen. On the side of 2Calculated2Throw, now with the 16 Talontier advantage. We are seeing Painfully Average trying to regroup here. Fort Camp, though, now getting taken by Painfully Average. On a goal with Sharpshooter. Incredibly powerful talent. That said, I've always been a big fan of Active Reload just for the burst option. There's a flip onto Lunara. Grenade comes out, and once again, just the lack of patience here by Painfully Average. I think if they are just more patient, this goes a lot better. But they're consistently having someone on their team run in before the rest of the team is there, and dying as a result of that. So they need to correct that here if they're going to find a way to pull this game out. They have time to get level 16 before the next objective. And the next objective absolutely could turn the game around. Still working on their wave clear. General Confusion stepping up, gets the stun onto Joanna, but Joanna fine for now. Need that level 16 if for no other reason than Ruinous Affliction. But Chen now, a little bit of an awkward spot, gonna be able to get away. Whereas down here in the bottom, Thrall using the Earthquake, trying to escape. Gets caught in his own teammate's zombie wall. Blessed Shield now. Oh, the poison damage on Desmerd, though. Desmerd stepping up, but blowing the 1,000 cups here. And, gonna now have a 62-second cooldown on that. We have a 25-second warning on the bottom shrine, so not gonna have that immediately. Not gonna have the Horrify of the Blessed Shield. They all should come up before the shrine is over, but they can't really fight now. Chen, meanwhile, clearing the top lane. So once again, a 45 situation. There's a zombie wall. It's going to catch Joanna, who actually traps herself even worse with the Condemn, and now taking even more damage. The heals don't come in, but the living bomb spread absolutely is annihilating. And the Nano Boost Pyroblast. It's a gimmick, but it's working. Down goes Gul'dan. So once again, taking a fight 4v5. Stepping up into 4v5, getting flips separated. The turnaround engage happens. Living bomb spread as well. You lose 2 people. And again, just completely avoidable if you're just patient. You have to accept the fact that, hey, you lost that fort. But now, won't have Joanna or Gul'dan up for 15 seconds. And by that point, by the time they can even get to bottom, oh, if Chen dies here, this is probably game over. 1,000 cups coming out. Panda Pals does manage to escape. But they're taking this fight 3v4. Even with Panda Pals, that's a tall order. Just not seeing the patience we need out of Painfully Average. And Lord Gold now not engaging. Lunara still engaging, so not really seeing the communication we need. And there we go. Lunara does escape. But this is going to be a Triglav Protector coming in the bot lane. And another turret camp going to get picked up here. Nope, they didn't start it in time. Triglav Protector comes into bot lane. Kael'Thas going to jump in. Ana going to stay out, help mitigate some of this dot damage we've been seeing. Nazebo has backed up the tap at the moment. Lord Gold quite low. Chen into the backline, diving onto Ana. Sleep Dart though. Still no level 20. Garrosh throwing Chen back in, but now the Triglav Protector just hard committing for this keep. Down to about 27 HP. Ginger Mancer now very low. Gonna have to back up. Still gonna need a heal from Lily. He will survive at this point. Lord Gold is low. Gul'dan was on the back line due to a flip and does drop. And just not able to really get onto Ana here. And stop her healing throughput. Level 20 is here now. With a kill on the Gul'dan, it looks like even without Triglav, they might try to push for this core. They're all dropping the Earthquake. There's the Warlord's Challenge. Pyroblast's going to come in. Gingermancer will drop there to the stagger damage. Lord Gold is going to drop here. So that should enable them to take this core. Core down to 80% and falling. Nothing really to be done here. And, you know, Painfully Average, I think they hung on quite well, but they just... The simplest thing they can fix is just not taking fights against numbers. And if they can do that in Game 2, I think they absolutely have a chance to take a map in this series. They showed a lot of good things, but it was just the consistent mistake-making, where most of the time, when they were engaging, they didn't have numbers, and that's what cost them. But with that, as you hear my wine glass, we are going to take a brief break. We'll be back for game number 2 in just a moment. Thank you for watching, everyone, and stay tuned.
あなたとの愛がこのままずっと続きますように夜空に願うの
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host, DB Smiley. Painfully Average just lost the map 1 to 2Calculated2Throw. 2Calculated2Throw, though, they're a good team. And Painfully Average managed to hang in there for a bit. Couple things that if they can clean up heading into the second game, I think they'll be okay. But to that end, we got to see them step it up starting right here, right now. And that's what we're hoping to do. Brightwing banned out once again. Thinking with that target ban, not wanting to deal with it. Garrosh, gonna be the ban. After that last game, makes sense. Infernal Shrines, though, Garrosh has a harder time throwing on this map. At least on the objective. In the lane, different story. He can throw pretty well, but with all the minions, definitely hard to isolate like you would on Volskaya, where there's basically no minions around. Chen banned out, not wanting to deal with that. Understandable. It's one of those heroes that if the enemy team actually plays it, it can be a threat. Certainly being able to get out of the backline, though we didn't really see the Panda Pals be able to do much, but typically that was because the fight was almost always over before the full team arrived. Anna, going to be the ban here. Anna, Garrosh, a good combo. Banning out both makes sense all the same. See, we got Kel'Thas going to be the first pick, going for some shrine control. Kel'Thas can bring it, not as much so as Gul'dan, so we could see an early Gul'dan pick once again. Anduin. Orphea. Orphea also brings some good shrine control. It's kind of one of those, like, you can really only typically play one mage, but Orphea is still good. It's just that so is Kel'Thas, so is Gul'dan, so is Li Ming, so is Jaina, especially. But we are going to see the Orphea come out here. But then a quick Joanna Lunara, so stealing some heroes that were played last time by Painfully Average. And it's interesting, it's X-Havoc in the game now. Actually, I just caught this. X-Havoc is in the game instead of Hunter X. So I just caught that. Switching into that tank role. Trying to rotate their players in, get everyone some playtime. You gotta respect it, of course. It's hard to be on the bench. I've been there once or twice. But an Uberak ban, which is questionable. They already had a tank, and I don't really see Joanna as being able to solo lane, like, say, if you had ETC, it makes sense that you go ETC and Uberak. I don't really see Joanna and Uberak, so prized by that one. Arthas going to get banned out. There's ETC, going to be played by Gingermancer. Can be that solo laner or the tank. What's the next pick going to be? It is Zul, so I expect that ETC to therefore be kind of the tank. Zul is... Huh. Well, it's going to really struggle to step up with the Kel'Thas, the Joanna, and the Lunara. It does have good shrine control. It has great wave clear. There's the Alex Strasza, very popular hero on the map. Thrall as the solo laner by general confusion. So Alex, the reason she's popular on this map is just because she can drop Dragon on every shrine, and it makes it very hard to lose that shrine. It has exceptional clear, in terms of getting minions off the shrine. Phoenix going to be the pick from Lord Gold. So there's their auto attacker, as well as someone who can solo lane, and they could actually rotate ETC, Orphea, and Zul, and that would be an interesting wrinkle to throw at this. So that said, out of the gate, I do like the draft for this map. Really by both teams, but just a little bit better by... Oh dear. We had someone drop, so we're going to figure out what happened here. We had a DC, so we're going to take a brief break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to the next gaming series. We're hopping back into the game, Painfully Average versus 2Calculated2Throw here on Infernal Shrines. We already saw Map 1, Volskaya, go over to the side of 2Calculated2Throw. We reformed after we had a DC at the conclusion of the draft on the side of Painfully Average. But Lord Gold back in the game. We'll see where this goes. One concern I have is ETC Zul. It is two frontliners that can do well, but they could struggle a bit with... They could struggle a bit with all the poke available in terms of the Kael'thas and the Lunara. But as we introduce these two teams, let's do it one more time. On the left side, it's going to be Painfully Average. We're going to have Lord Gold on Phoenix, Willow's going to be on Orphea, Gingermancer on ETC, Desmond going to be on Anduin, and Hufflepuffin going to be on the Zul. And over on the right, you're going to have Fear on Lunara, Gaude Race going to be on Alex Strasza, Jurgen Derb going to be on Kael'thas, X-Havoc going to be on Joanna, and up in the top, it is General Confusion on Thrall. So, jumping into this now, no one really committing to a fight, but taking a look at the talents, it can be indicative of some of the builds. We are seeing, rather than the hippity hop, we're going with the natural perspective. So getting the target reveal here. Alex going with the W build. Very important to get to 15 globes as quickly as possible. And if they could steal a globe, that would certainly help. It appears they successfully do so. So 3 globes now for Alex. But keeping this 4-man rotation going up to the top. Right now it looks like we're seeing Painfully Average this match with a 1-3-1. But lane cleared up, and really pretty sheepish play by Painfully Average. Not willing to step up to clear the lane even after the enemy team rotates away. And so this is going to allow pretty easy stacking. In fact, they're so ahead in rotations, they feel safe taking some time and grabbing the neutral siege camp here on this map. ETC recognizing it, could push in, but this is a 3v4. Anduin is still not here. Living Bomb... Wait, that's not Living Bomb, sorry, that's just Lunara Toxin. But the camp is picked up. Separation there onto Lunara, but actually Gingermancer getting turned around onto here has to get pulled back to safety. Some help pings coming in. But now grabbing their own siege camp while you see Fear and Gold Dray Race, excuse me, clearing up their mid lane, although Gold Dray Race rotating down. Zul and Thrall in the solo lane. So I don't like having this solo lane set up. I would much rather have Phoenix in the solo lane against the Thrall, and then have, hard engage onto the camp, get 2 kills. Fear is going to survive this, so they managed to successfully invade siege camp. I would love to have seen Zul in the 4-man, though, and put Phoenix in the side lane, because that's the only way you could really slow the rotations, is just give them more minions to clear. Early game, you're going to get out-rotated by the comp that has the Kael'thas, so just need to recognize that and play accordingly. Zul, though, pushing up fairly well into Thrall at the moment. We are going to get a mid-shrine, being the first shrine, but now having to deal with these camps, it's really slowing the rotations painfully average, as they find themselves down a level fairly early. As, oops, forgive me here. As, now, we are seeing the shrine get started here. General Confusion had already stepped up, getting rooted. Orphea going to chunk some damage out as well. But Zul needing to back up. Still, now 5-on-5 situation. There's a power slide on the throw. General Confusion is low, and he's going to drop before the Dragon can come up. Dragon is down at this point. I think if they can disengage this, that's a good decision. On the side of Painfully Average, Willow steps up and gets annihilated by Kael'thas. And so now it's a 4v4 with the Dragon up, and you just gotta respect the Dragon. The Dragon, unlike Skyrim, the Dragon is a threat and a menace. So kind of a mild inconvenience in Skyrim, more so than anything else. But now, should be the Punisher taken. It is of the frozen variety. As well as that, because it's going to come with 2 globes. That gets Alex Strasza up to 15, which is big. It gives her that extra healing on W. Punisher jumps over, ECC power sliding away. But the Frozen Punisher now shuts down the structure, so that is going to help push in quite aggressively. The structure now active again, but down to 20% health. Phoenix getting jumped on by the Punisher. Fear doing a good job poking it out. And this Punisher does take the fort, and now we're seeing a rotation bottom here on the side of 2Calculated2Throw. They are going to go ahead and grab the neutral siege camp once again and start up their camp rotations. Painfully Average, what do? Looks like they're sending 2 people to do their Bruiser camp. A bit too early to do this. You know, they don't know where the next shrine is. If the next shrine's top, it's completely fine to do Bruiser early. If the next shrine is bot, you want your Bruiser up when you do it. So I think this is too early to start that camp. Still, they have 1 in each lane soaking. Lord Gold, though, taking a lot of damage. Defending 1v4, just needs to give this up. Recognize the situation. Instead, steps up again, almost gets killed by Condemn. Not to say that Condemn would have been fatal damage, but Lunar actually dies under tower. And that is just an individual mistake, and now X-Havoc going to get focused by tower as well, and he's going to drop. Orphea going to get some slows here onto Alex. If Power Slide comes up, this is 1 dead Dragon Lady. She's going to drop to the ETC Power Slide. Or maybe it was Echo Pedal. Either way, down she goes. But, Zul's still doing okay into Thrall, but the Bruiser camp has been cleared up and really got minimal value, just half of a tower. But there's the invade. Now a power slide onto Fear. Fear gonna get rooted, and down he goes. There you see the value of Anduin's follow-up CC, but the Living Bomb spread. Doing quite a bit of damage, Painfully Average, but they managed to steal a siege camp. Now they're gonna rotate theirs as well. Could get invaded, though. Need to be careful. They have numbers, provided that they're all in position to show up quickly. Meanwhile, we're seeing 2Calculated2Throw. They're just going to go ahead and push up bot lane. Keep their 4-man rotations going. Zul has some chance to push the top at the moment. Needs to be careful, though. Rotation could come top. Now, it is a top shrine, so the Bruiser going to get grabbed now a bit early. You don't really want to hold your Bruiser for the top shrine phase just because, yeah, it helps push the lane up, gets you more vision, but it really is not going to get any push power. It's going to get cleared up. Ear low, barely escapes Phoenix. Ooh, Lifebinder used very early, and Zul is going to go down to Kael'thas there. Lifebinder used very early. Surprised to see that, but still, they managed to get a kill. So they have an advantage for now. They will be able to start this shrine. On the side of 2Calculated2Throw, we have Leaping Strike, Lifebinder, Falling Sword, yuck. Thunder and Pyroblast. I am very judgmental. On the other side, Salvation, Salvo. I can't think of anything Salve, but it is Salvo, it's Salvation, it's Mosh Party, it is Eternal Feast, and it is the Skeletal Mages. So there's a big Mosh, actually, but gonna get interrupted out. Protected, by the way, though. Willows doesn't get into the Protected, by the way, right next to the Protected, and doesn't get in, and this is gonna be an ace. And that is dominant. At this point, you actually break off. You don't even have everyone doing the shrine. You start immediately pushing lane. But they do get the Arcane Punisher. They want to get the gate down quick, but that was an ace. And that's a lot of time that they're going to get to just push up here. This fort should be easily taken. We are seeing all the members come up now. I mean, that was a fantastic Mosh disengage. I want to be clear on that. But also, Willows just needs to step into Salvation. Was right next to it, was very low health. Punisher baited to the keep wall, so it's going to allow it to be cleared up a bit. ETC powers fighting in, needs to be careful. There's the Punisher jump, but gets pulled out by Anduin. But Phoenix goes down. That's unfortunate. Phoenix dropping there. Thrall pushing up this bot lane, grabs the camp. Bruiser going to be taken here, but it's 4v4 at the moment. But there's the Eternal Feast separating out the members. Salvation on the point, trying to get there. Here comes the Falling Sword now. Lifebinder comes out, keeping up the members of the red team. Kael'thas stepping up. Desmerd extremely low. Lunar on the trace, trying to get the kill. ETC finally drops. Kael'thas was the first to die, but then ETC and Zul quickly follow. Phoenix going to be the next, and Willows is going to go down as well. And, oh boy, they just lost a 4v5 fight. Granted, started 4v4, but not a good look. As Painfully Average, really struggling in this game. 2.5 level lead now, favoring 2Calculated2Throw. And they're going to walk up, take this keep wall, and get ever closer to 16. Possibly could pressure the keep here, at least get some real damage with that catapult help. There's the root onto Joanna. She unstoppable through it. ETC Mosh in the backline with the Pacify. Falling Sword going to come out to interrupt that Mosh. And ETC is dropping Moshes, but the team just isn't able to follow up. We're not seeing the Salvation follow up. We're not seeing Orphea be able to blow someone up. They've managed to get a couple kills here and there, but admittedly, like several of their kills were just mistakes made by 2Calculated2Throw, dying literally to PvE. Here comes the Salvation, or Salvo, excuse me. Salvo, well, also Salvation, also yes. But, again, Salvo used there, who are you killing? What permanent value on the map does that R button get you? Or are you just trying to do damage? Because if you're just trying to do damage, it's not going to accomplish anything. And there's Thrall nailing Phoenix with the Sundering, going to take it out. And there you see kind of the difference in heroic usage. It's been like, oh, it seems like a good idea to use this right now, versus, oh, I guess this will get a kill, so let's go ahead and use it. And now ETC about to drop, keep mid, 3 dead. They should just move on to core and end this game. And that's going to be 2Calculated2Throw taking a domination victory in this series. Dragon comes out as well. This will end the game. Phoenix and Zool coming back up, so maybe the Miracle Defense comes in. Core is down to 50%. Eternal Feast coming out as well. They'll sit on the throw a few times. Core is down. So with that, we get a pretty quick map number 2. Sub 12-minute game. And a pretty dominant win on the side of 2Calculated2Throw. And well-earned domination victory for them. That's going to help push their lead even more in the top part of Division D here. Taking a look at it, I mean, when you look at the damage numbers, you know, Orphea did okay, but otherwise, I mean, damage pretty low across the board for the side of Painfully Average. They managed to snag a couple kills, but ultimately, you know, just not able to stay alive in these fights. The losing a 4v5 fight over the Bruiser Camp was pretty devastating, and, you know, they're going to have to come back. They're going to have to grow from this. We'll see how they do it. Meanwhile, 2Calculated2Throw looking very strong. So we're going to see if we can get a post-game interview. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, everyone. Next gaming series. Thank you for watching. Welcome back, everyone, to the next gaming series. I'm your host, DB Smiley, and I am joined by the captain of the victorious 2Calculated2Throw, Fear. Fear, how you feeling after that game?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right, short and sweet
Fun
and to the
matchup.
point. I like it. So you guys came in, admittedly, pretty heavy favorites in this series. Let's not kid ourselves, right? You're right now the top team in the division. You help push that forward in terms of the playoff standings. You help push that forward,
Right.
of course, with the domination. And on the other side, Painfully Average, they're kind of towards the bottom of the standings, not in playoff contention at the moment. Certainly expecting the domination. But let's go into map 1. What do you think you can most attribute on Volskaya your victory to on that map?
Let's see. So Volskaya, I think big thing for us was Garrosh.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting a lot of good throws off, and it was just isolating people, and we could blow him up easily enough. I think as far as things we had going for us, that was probably the biggest thing. Besides them letting Yergs play Kael'thas.
Right. Well, so we saw the Kael'thas. We actually also saw some pretty I don't want gimmicky, I guess. Kael'thas with the Kael'thas on Nano Boost Pyroblast.
Right.
But definitely got a lot of value. So to say gimmicky is not to say like cheap or anything like that. But it is kind of like here's a way that we're gonna get a kill in terms of the focus
Right.
of it. And I think you guys executed it well. That said, I think there were some moments that Painfully Average had in that first game, but I think that you guys did a good job of recognizing from a macro perspective, like, hey, we have numbers, let's just push in and get the kill. They're trying to be cheeky right now, punish that. And so I do want to credit you guys for punishing those things.
Yeah, we tried to look out for that kind of stuff because I've seen some of their matches before, and they've gotten away with some pretty funny things in a few of their other matches. So we were trying to avoid some of that.
Brightwing ban?
Yeah, one of their players has like 300 games on Brightwing.
Oh, I know. I was just saying like that falls into the category. I assume.
It's like we're gonna avoid some shenanigans here.
All right. Well, I mean, obviously, map number 2, pretty dominant, 7 to 17 kills. I mean, if you take a look, the stats in many ways speak for themselves. Just in terms of the XP soak, definitely Thrall doing a good job there. You guys were pretty aggressive in getting camps early on that map. Was that just, hey, we're ahead in rotations, let's steal it? Or was that to try to set up kind of better rotations later?
It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
We knew going in that we were going to have the faster wave clear, at least at the beginning of the game, so we wanted to capitalize on that as much as we could, which kind of put us in a better position for the mid game.
All right. Well, with that, floor's yours for shoutouts.
Shout out to Hunter, who played game 1, and to Havoc, who played game 2.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of like to switch our people around when we get the chance.
Yeah, I noticed that kind of a bit late, but yeah, it was good to see different. Well, it was good to see. It's always good to see people make sure to get their players involved because everyone wants to play. No one wants to sit on the bench forever, right?
Exactly. And other than that, great job, everybody.
All right. Well, with that, everyone, I'm actually going to bring this cast to a close, but I am picking up another match here in just a bit. It's going to be a full meta jacket versus Bloodbath and Beyond. That's going to kick off at 10 p.m. I'll probably start the cast up here in about 45 minutes, but without a game to cast right now, I got